Wood, and I'm the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent here in Cumberland County. And this is...
Hi, I'm Krista Johnson, and I am the Family and Consumer Science Agent in Bladen County.
And welcome to Tasty Tuesdays. Tasty Tuesdays is going to happen every month at the end of the month on Tuesdays. And we're going to be sharing with you some healthy recipes, some cooking techniques, some cooking tips, as well as some nutrition. And today we're going to focus on a recipe. It's a freezer jam recipe, which is going to be pretty simple for you to make. There's no boiling in the process, and there is no water bath canning. So if this is your first time attempting to preserve some food, this little jam recipe will be perfect for you. So what we're going to need are some nectarines, and the recipe calls for about 4 medium-sized nectarines. We're going to need some lemon, the rind of a lemon, some blueberries, and some lemon juice, some sugar, as well as our real fruit freezer pectin. You don't want to use classic pectin or your liquid pectins, any of those other pectins. You want to look for the pectin that you do not have to cook with. So those are our ingredients, and we're going to get started. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean everything up. We're going to get our jars ready. We're going to wash those up, and any of our other canning equipment, because we're going to be crushing some blueberries, so we're going to clean all our supplies and everything that we need. Okay, so let's get started.
So to prepare our fruit for this recipe, we are going to start with our nectarines, and they need to be peeled, pitted, and chopped. And so there's a couple ways you can do that. So the first way that I'm going to suggest is if you want to go ahead and cut your nectarine in half. So you push your knife in, run it around the pit, and then once you get it all the way around, you should be able to just kind of twist to get one half to release. And so this is a great idea, especially if you're working with children. You want to give them a flat surface to put the nectarine down on so that it's more stable. And then to peel that, you can use a smaller knife and just kind of peel that skin off. And we're going to continue with this with all of our nectarines until we get them all peeled, pitted, and chopped.
A nectarine is a cross between a peach and a plum. Some say it's a fuzzyless variety of a peach, but it's loaded with health benefits such as antioxidants, has vitamin A and vitamin C, beta carotene, as well as potassium. And when they're ripe, its smooth skin is a brilliant golden yellow with generous blushes of bread, and it has a sweet aroma. And if you're wanting to ripen your nectarines, what you can do is just place them in a paper bag and fold the top down loosely and keep it at room temperature for about 1 to 3 days, but you want to check your fruit daily. And once it's ripe or soft, you need to store it in the refrigerator for up to a week or more. Now, blueberries have lots of vitamin K in it. 36% of vitamin K are in your blueberries, as well as 24% of vitamin C and 5% of vitamin B6. 1 cup of blueberries is about 84 calories. And when you're looking for your blueberries, a fully ripe blueberry is shiny and blue, plump and sweet. And you want the skin to be smooth. If it's starting to crinkle, then it's starting to decompose. So you want the skin to be nice and smooth. So what we're going to do next is we're going to mix all of our fruit and our lemon juice in one bowl. So we've already added our blueberries here, which was a cup of crushed blueberries. And Krista's going to add 3 cups of chopped nectarines. So we'll add those to our bowl. And then I'm going to add our lemon juice, which is a teaspoon of lemon juice. And guys, remember, you need to use the correct measures. Measure exactly. And Krista's using a dry measure, and that's what you want to use to measure your fruit. Now, if we were measuring a liquid, we would use a liquid measure that has a spout on it.
I think we're going to have exactly the right amount of nectarines.
And actually, that was 5 nectarines. I know the recipe called for about 4 medium, and that was exactly 5 that I purchased. I always purchase 1 extra just in case.
I'm glad you did.
So next we're going to grate our lemon peel. We're going to grate our lemon, in other words. And for this, we're going to need about a tablespoon. And when you're grating your lemon, be sure not to go down to the white membrane because it can be bitter.
In a separate bowl, we are going to combine our sugar and our pectin together. So for this particular recipe, we need 1.5 cups of our sugar. And again, it's really important to make sure that we are measuring accurately. So we want to make sure we get a true 1/2 cup or 1.5 cups. So here's our first 1/2 cup. And you can use a knife to level off, or you can just kind of shake it to level it off, but we want to make sure we're getting a true 1.5 cups of sugar. And then also 5 tablespoons of our real fruit freezer pectin. And same thing, you can use a knife to level off your tablespoon scoops, or you can just kind of shake. So a knife would probably be less messy.
And mix together our sugar and our pectin.
So after we've mixed our sugar and our pectin, we are going to add our fruit into the sugar and pectin bowl, making sure we get all of our fruit out of the bowl because I wish you could smell it. It smells delicious, so we want to make sure we get every bit in there.
All right. We're good. And then we're going to mix this together, and we're going to stir it for 3 minutes. But we're going to ladle it in, and then our recipe says we need to leave a 1/2 inch of headspace. And we're going to show you what that means if you've never canned before. And I'm just using my little funnel here just to keep the edges of my container clean. And we'll see how many containers we get. The recipe says we'll get about 5, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Sorry.
You're okay.
So, we're going to look at our headspace. And on this little tool here, we have different measurements. Like this one is a 1/4 of an inch headspace. This one would be a 1/2 inch. This would be 3/4, and all the way up is an inch. So we're going to measure from here. And headspace is from the top of your container to your food, and we're still off, so we need to add a little bit more of our product to our container, and then we'll measure it again. And if you put too much, you can always take it out. So we'll measure. So that looks pretty good. That's it right there.
All right.
And then Krista will do hers. I'll just stick that there.
think I got it.
Right on the money.
Right, so we're just going to continue filling up our containers, and we'll check back with you in just a moment when we get them all full.
We filled our containers and we've put our lid on the top, and for this recipe it told us we would get about 5 half-pint jars, and we actually got 3.5 half-pint jars.
And so this could be due to maybe the way we chopped our nectarine or maybe another factor, but we can be confident that we did measure everything accurately. So the ingredients were measured in the proper portions. And so, you may find that when you're doing some of your own preservation recipes, you might get a slightly different yield than what your recipe says as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you are measuring accurately, you can be confident that your recipe is going to be safe and that the end product will taste well. So our suggestion in this situation is probably go ahead and freeze these. And then maybe pop this one in the refrigerator so you have one that you can go ahead and start using.
Right, and these will last in your refrigerator for up to, your freezer up to a year, and this will last up to about a month in your refrigerator. And again, I remind you, since this is a quick freezer jam, no boiling in the process, you have to keep it in the refrigerator or the freezer. If you leave it on the counter at room temperature, it's going to start growing mold, and it won't be safe for you to eat.
And hopefully you will prepare this in the future.
And hope to see you every Tuesday.
Yes.
The last Tuesday of each month for Tasty Tuesdays.
Thank you for joining us.